What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, trainer of the year, Eddy Reynoso, who trains 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who currently is the unified WBC, WBA super middleweight world champion, Saul Canelo Alvarez. And he also trains rising, upcoming, lightweight, Mexican title contender, superstar boxer, King Ryan Garcia. There was a lot of reports and talks that Ryan Garcia could possibly be headed into a showdown with legend, 8-division world champion, Filipino superstar, iconic boxer, Manny Pacquiao. Okay? Manny Pacquiao is 42 years of age. Ryan Garcia is 22 years of age. Okay? Manny Pacquiao has been around the block, to say the least, a few times, okay? Manny Pacquiao is very, very experienced. And so with that said, now Eddy Reynoso, he came out. A lot of people were shocked that this was even a possibility, that it was even being talked about, okay? It came out of nowhere because Manny Pacquiao has been inactive since defeating former unified WBC, WBA welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman back in July of 2019. With that said, Manny Pacquiao became the WBA welterweight world champion. Manny Pacquiao, resume of 62 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. He himself was knocked out 3 times, and he's 42 years of age. Stands at 5'6", 67-inch arm reach, and he's been inactive. He's ascended over in his country in the Philippines, and he helps a lot of people. With that said, Manny Pacquiao experience, Manny Pacquiao, skill level, Manny Pacquiao southpaw stands. Manny Pacquiao is a huge pay-per-view draw. He's just very, very experienced, very, very, still a high risk, okay? So with that said, Manny Pacquiao was talking about his ring return, and most expected that he would possibly go into a unification bout against undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight, undisputed world champion, currently the WBO welterweight world champion, who is widely considered the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Terrence Bud Crawford, and or undefeated unified WBC, IBF welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Earl the True Spence Jr., who's proven to be the biggest draw in the sport of boxing currently right now. That's not a heavyweight, okay? Because we know as the heavyweight division goes, so goes the sport of boxing. So we expected him at least to go on one of those bouts for a massive showdown in a unification bout. And Manny Pacquiao made mention that he wanted to face UFC superstar, iconic legend, Conor McGregor in a crossover sport showdown. But Conor McGregor, a few weeks ago, was knocked out in his rematch with Dustin Poirier, so that went by the wayside. Now, the WBA had informed Manny Pacquiao that if he didn't indeed defend his title against somebody in the top 10 of the ranking system, that they would strip him of the title. So then the focus shifted to 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Mikey Garcia, because Mikey Garcia is number 4 in the WBA ranking system. So that seemed likely, and Mikey Garcia says that he had a lot of contact and a lot of talks in negotiating with a possible showdown with Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao informed them that he indeed wanted that fight. So a lot of people felt he was going in that direction. And not to mention Ryan Garcia, he had his biggest fight of to date, February 2nd, when he took on Olympic gold medalist, British superstar lightweight title contender Luke Campbell in the fight that was exciting. Ryan Garcia was floored in the 2nd round. He got up. He stopped Luke Campbell in the 7th round with a left hook to the liver. Exciting fight. But after the fight, Ryan Garcia told anybody that would listen, after that fight, he became the WBC mandatory position challenger for undefeated WBC lightweight world champion superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney. And he was calling out undefeated 2-division world champion, who simultaneously holds the WBA at 130, 135, 4-time world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis. He stated that he would knock out Tank Davis in 2 rounds. He stated that he was going on in the biggest platforms available to him to scream to the mountaintops that he wanted to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. He went on TMZ. He went on Mike Tyson's Hot Box. He went on ESPN with Max Kellerman. He went everywhere you could think of mainstream media to call out Gervonta Tank Davis and tell Gervonta Tank Davis, don't avoid the fight. Then out of nowhere came the reports that Gervonta Tank Davis is no longer the front runner to face Ryan Garcia, and that Ryan Garcia had a bigger fish on the hook, so to speak, right? And that bigger fish was Manny Pacquiao, no other than Manny Pacquiao. And so it was a blindside to the boxing world, and most people didn't see this coming. And with that said, everybody was completely shocked. Why is he choosing Manny Pacquiao? Or should I dare I say, why is Manny Pacquiao choosing a fight with him? So with that said, the fight, was being talked about for a couple of days, and as time went on, so not too many people saw this, and as time went on, it seemed like it was more of a possibility. You had Ryan Garcia's dad, Henry Garcia. He stated that the date they were targeting was April 24th, around the Cinco de Mayo weekend time, and that it was going to be a catchweight. So a lot of details came out, and then suddenly it came to a halt where Golden Boy Promotions, advisor, he came out and stated that this fight is not coming to fruition. It's not going to happen. They're not proceeding forward, and it's not going to happen next or anytime in the foreseeable future. They want Ryan Garcia to have a different fight. Well, the reason for this video is that trainer of Ryan Garcia, Eddy Reynoso, who's a very intelligent trainer, he stated that his voice means something in the Ryan Garcia's camp. They asked him his opinion. They asked him, what he thinks. And he stated that he does not like this fight for Ryan Garcia. He does not like Ryan Garcia's chances against an experienced, explosive fighter who's a legend in Manny Pacquiao. He'd much rather have a fight for Ryan Garcia that is more realistic, more winnable in Gervonta Tank Davis, right? He says, that's the fight I like. I don't like a fight with Manny Pacquiao. Not right now. He says Manny Pacquiao has far too much experience. Manny Pacquiao is very explosive. He's awkward. He's a southpaw. He's been in big fights. Ryan Garcia is too young, too green, too inexperienced, and he doesn't like that fight to be able to develop Ryan Garcia's career. So therefore, he informed Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions CEO. He informed Ryan Garcia's mother and father, Henry Garcia, that this is not a good fight for Ryan Garcia. And he informed everybody included in Team Garcia that this is not a good direction for them to go in. And then he stated that at the end of the day, they make the final decision. But me, I get him prepared to be able to, compete against whomever they tell me that they agreed to fight. I personally don't like this fight. I don't agree with this fight. I don't like how the styles match up. So I don't want to make this fight. But that's up to them to make the fight. And one has to believe that Ryan Garcia, Henry Garcia, Oscar De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins, they have all pulled back on this Manny Pacquiao situation. When you have a boxing mind and a trainer like Eddy Reynoso who says this is not a good look, you have to take that into consideration. And I believe that at that point in time, they thought to themselves, this don't make sense for Ryan Garcia's career going forward. He stated that Manny Pacquiao may be shorter. This is Eddy Reynoso. He may be shorter in stature, but he's still the bigger guy naturally. He's used to fighting at 140 plus. He's a 147 pounder. He's not the biggest guy in the world. So with that said, he could still make maybe 140 because he's only 5'5", 5'6". He's not the biggest guy in the world. So he could still make the lower weight classes. But he's he's grown. He's accustomed to fighting in the bigger weight classes. Ryan Garcia is not. Ryan Garcia at 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach at 22 years old has a lot of room to grow. Manny Pacquiao is accustomed to fighting at the smaller weight classes, and he's accustomed to fighting at bigger weight classes. And he has the experience. He's accustomed to fighting bigger guys. He's accustomed to fighting all types of styles. Boxers with speed, boxers with power, athletic boxers. Manny Pacquiao is accustomed to fighting all different types of styles of boxers. So there's nothing in the ring that Ryan Garcia can present to Manny Pacquiao that is going to offset Manny Pacquiao or get Manny Pacquiao flustered. So Manny Pacquiao will have every advantage in the ring that you could think of. And Eddy Reynoso is not of, He's not in agreement with that fight. Now, he did say he likes Ryan's chances against Gervonta Tank Davis. This again, it's shocking to me that everybody just looks at Gervonta Tank Davis, and Ryan Garcia believes that Gervonta Tank Davis, he stated that his style matches up well with Gervonta Tank Davis. He's bigger. Now, Gervonta Tank Davis is very similar to Manny Pacquiao. They are the same size. Manny Pacquiao is 5'5", 5'6". Gervonta Tank Davis is 5'5", 5'6". Manny Pacquiao has a 67-inch arm reach. Gervonta Tank Davis has a 67-inch arm reach. Manny Pacquiao is a southpaw that's athletic and explosive. Gervonta Tank Davis is a southpaw that's athletic and explosive. The difference is Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't have the level of experience of Manny Pacquiao, and he himself is not accustomed to fighting at those big weight classes like Manny Pacquiao. But I still would favor Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't know. They see something in Gervonta Tank Davis that they feel like they can exploit, and that's the direction that they want to go in. Gervonta Tank Davis, he doesn't have a fight schedule, so maybe they revisit this, right? He essentially left Gervonta Tank Davis at the altar as this fight was talked about, but nobody could blame him, truly blame him, if you're being honest. If you have an opportunity to fight Manny Pacquiao or fighting Gervonta Tank Davis right now, a legend, who's on his way out, or Gervonta Tank Davis, who has another 10 years in the sport, you go with the legend who's on his way out, because you'll never get that opportunity again. So with that stated, right, maybe they revisit the negotiations and look to make this fight come to fruition. But I don't understand what they see, but they clearly see something in Gervonta Tank Davis. As Eddy Reynoso says, he likes the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. That's the direction he wants Ryan Garcia to go in. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. That's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, and get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.